These are some of the best platinums of the year. So many fantastic games have been released this year, but the best platinums enhance the experiences of these already great games. So here are 10 of the best platinums of 2024 with my personal favorite at the end. Now don't cook me if your favorite game isn't mentioned here, but up first is a game that didn't have much hype going into it, yet quickly exploded as one of the best and most fun games of the entire year, and that is of course Helldivers 2. This game took over the gaming scene when it launched, and it's easy to see why. Playing as Helldivers to fight for Super Earth and
democracy
together with up to 4 players is a blast. The trophies as well are also really simple, although a tiny bit of a grind. There's a ton of miscellaneous trophies, but towards the end, you'll be grinding out the 100 missions and max rank trophies. But if you're doing this together with your friends and not those dreaded randoms, this platinum for freedom should come with ease. Next is a game that's great for a very different but pretty good reason. Even before Stellar Blade released, it quickly caught the attention of all the extremely down bad gamers around the world. But apart from some fantastic character customization, there's also a platinum to be obtained. The gameplay is very reminiscent of games like God of War or Nier, so if you like those, you should know what to similarly expect here. Unfortunately, it does have a decent amount of missable trophies, which is why you'll need to play through New Game Plus at least once to get all the trophies, but with the engaging combat and a few stylish outfits, you should have a fun time throughout your platinum journey. However, if you can't appreciate Queen Eve, then maybe Prince of Persia is a game you enjoyed more. A reinvention of the older Prince of Persia games, this Metroidvania-styled game was a popular one to platinum for all the platformer enjoyers. Although you don't actually play as the Prince of Persia, and even though the game didn't sell as well as Ubisoft had hoped, it's still reviewed incredibly well and is kind of underrated in that regard. With a good story, interesting puzzles, and exciting fights whilst traveling to the Calf Mountain, this is a platinum you can earn in around 25 hours depending on the difficulty you play on. Simply beat the game, find the collectibles, and complete a few side quests is all you need to do to collect the platinum for one of the first games to have been released in 2024. However, a game that was a little more popular amongst trophy hunters later on was the Plucky Squire. With just a 2 out of 10 difficulty and 10 hours to platinum, including the fact that it came to PlayStation Plus meant that this platinum was incredibly popular. With different adorable art styles, 2 and 3D versions, some minigames and a ton of puzzles, this resulted in a happy ending for most. There are a few tedious trophies, for example with collectibles, and even though a small minority did complain about insignificant glitches, even with those nitpicks, the Plucky Squire was a vastly enjoyable platinum experience for the majority of trophy hunters. However, not everyone is into cute games like this, which meant other trophy hunters gravitated more towards the dark world of Silent Hill 2. This remake of the original game from 2001 was popular for both new players and the greybeards that wanted to re-experience it. It does have quite a few trophies to watch out for though, because a lot of it is missable with no chapter select. And that's not even mentioning a certain speedrun trophy, so it's definitely not as simple and straightforward as a lot of the other games still coming up, but because the experience you have throughout the game makes up for it, Silent Hill was a big platinum in this year. Yet it wasn't as big as the big old Chinese monkey fighting game Black Myth Wukong. Not to be mistaken for the original Wukong game, Black Myth Wukong was so successful that it also secured its spot as a Game Awards' Game of the Year nominee. Although the large majority of players were on Steam, this 60-hour sort of Souls-like difficulty game became an increasingly popular platinum. It's therefore also not an easy platinum and one of the most challenging big ones of 2024, with some missables, RNG, New Game Plus, and of course collectible trophies, because every single game has collectibles. Yet even with those requirements, that didn't deter the dedicated trophy hunters from platinuming this monkey game. And for those that wanted to platinum more animals, well, Animal Well was right there waiting for them, because any trophy hunter that falls into this well isn't leaving before platinuming it. There's a ton of exploring to do in this beautiful, peaceful 2D platformer that's kinda like Halo 2 meets Halo 3. The pixel art style and the fact that there's no combat at all makes it exciting to go exploring through the atmospheric and mysterious world. It's a very short and easy platinum with a 2 out of 10 difficulty and 10 to 15 hours to platinum, and only a few trophies to keep track of, which is what makes Animal Well an easy and very enjoyable game to platinum. Staying in the animal type of games, but also not, because these are kind of basically just Pokemon in a different universe, Pal World is up next. You've probably seen or heard about this game when it released, because similar to Wukong, this game popped off when it released on PC. And for those waiting for the game on PlayStation, this game had a platinum up for grabs. With a 3 out of 10 40-hour platinum estimation, this is pretty average for an open world survival game. Catch a bunch of pals, beat all the bosses and do a bit of post-game grinding and you'll have another platinum added to your collection. Though do be noted that this game is probably, just like any other game, much more enjoyable if you're just playing the game normally and having this platinum come to you naturally, instead of trying to speedrun the trophies for just another platinum. And it seems that games with animal-like companions were very popular this year, because LEGO Horizon was another great platinum of 2024. Okay, maybe not as popular as some others yet, seeing as it technically flopped harder than Concord, but it is a great, easy and simple platinum to collect nonetheless. As it only takes 10 to 15 hours to platinum, this LEGO take on the Horizon universe is a fantastic and simple game for anyone. It's a LEGO game and that should tell you enough. It is a little bit different to most of the other LEGO games, but it's basically still got the same essential flow. All you do is beat the story, climb some tall necks, discover some cauldrons, collect a bunch of bricks, and build your beautiful little village brick by brick in Mother's Heart. But before we talk about a game that was a lot more popular than that and also my platinum of the year by far, let's go over a few other great games that were released in 2024, just so that you don't get mad at me for not including your favorite game because I can already hear you typing. Take Cat Quest 3 for example, a great short indie game that's super easy to platinum, or Pacific Drive, which is an incredibly mysterious atmospheric road trip, or maybe role-playing games are more your thing like Warhammer Space Marine or even Dragon's Dogma 2. But we can't forget there's also a few more big grindy games that, depending on how much you enjoy the game and desire the platinum, will either decrease or enhance your experience, such as Final Fantasy XXIX Remake Rebirth Remaster Pixel Edition, Card Game Simulator Balatro, Metaphor Re-Fantastic Fazio, or even Anime Lover 69's favorite dweeb game of the year, Zenless Zone Zero. But because those do take so long to platinum, when you eventually do get the plat, it's one of the most satisfying and rewarding ones out there. So yeah, as you can see, there's been a ton of great games to platinum this year. But for me personally, and I know a lot of you as well, the best platinum experience in 2024 was of course Astrobot. Astrobot is such a fantastic, joyful game, and it was a blast to platinum. It's a more than worthy sequel to the pre-installed Astro's Playroom with a bigger and more exciting world to explore. There's 5 galaxies to navigate and find all the bots and puzzle pieces, with so many cool Easter eggs for any fan of PlayStation to come across. The gameplay is super simple and easy to understand, the collectibles are fun, satisfying and exciting to find, and the music is oh so enjoyable. It was kinda like PlayStation's attempt at a Super Mario game, and it received a ton of praise, nominations and awards because of it. Everything about Astrobot makes for an easy platinum that can be obtained after around 15 hours of exploring this beautiful world together with Astro. I was so hyped for this game that I challenged myself to platinum it without looking at the trophy list, so if you want to see how that went and why it's my platinum of the year, then check out this video. That's it, see ya!